Playing days are over anyway. I sorted my life out in the late 80s. Met a very nice girl. Proper middle class. She's been skiing and everything. And and about 4 years ago, we were together 6 years. We were making love, right? Making love. She said, I want a baby. I want a baby. I said, well, if you come off the pill, I'll start leaving it in, right? So, started leaving it in. Child came along, was created. My wife, quite a middle class woman, she said, after a few months, she said, I'm losing my identity, she said, losing my identity. I said, have you finished your cleaning? Come up there, you've got a cleaner. Everyone's got a cleaner now. Poor people have got cleaners. So, she went back to work, leaving me to bring the child up. So I'm pushing him along the street in his £500 pram, which I resented initially. Then I got involved in a race in Summerfields. Oh, no, she turns on a tanner, turns on a tanner. Some idiot in a £200 buggy tried to cut me up. I said, come on, mate, there's a monkey's worth of Pramet coming through here. Shouldn't you be in Iceland's with that thing? I'm not a snob. I mean, we're not a snob, but we did buy an overpriced house to store the baby in. You know what I mean? In a nice area. Nice area. And my wife went back to work, so she said, it's the thing about having children is it is a bit tedious because you get up early with them. You get up about 6:30. By about 7:30, you're running out of ideas, right? So the government say, not too much telly, not too much telly. They don't know what they're talking about. He loves a bit of telly. Never once has this little boy turned to me and gone, there's nothing on, Dad. So I put him by the telly, right? He's watching Thomas the Tank Engine. I'm reading about the budget deficit, which is very high, as we know. And you should be more worried about it. He's watching Thomas, I'm reading the paper. He's watching Thomas, I'm reading the paper. Suddenly, I'm watching Thomas. 2 years later, I'm a massive fan of Thomas. I've got to know the trains again, haven't I? Their little personalities, you know. You think, oh, Toby's turned up. This will be a blinder, this will. Because where he's like he's not a proper diesel or a steamy, and he's square, he plays up a bit, you know? So you're guaranteed a good episode with Toby. Now, the worst thing about having children, you're thoroughly enjoying an episode of Thomas. The little boy looks up at me and thinks, he's enjoying himself a bit. I'm not having that. I think I'll go off and top myself, all right? So he goes and gets in the oven. Keep me on my toes, and you have to go, hot, hot, hot! Hot, hot, hot! And you miss the end of Thomas. It ruins the rest of your day. Ruins it. It gnaws away at you. You think, how did that end? I was like, and it's not the sort of show you can just pop down the pub that night and start asking about, you know what I mean? Start saying to people, I don't suppose you saw Thomas this morning, did you? They brought the orchestra over, right, to play out the Fate, the Sodar Fate. They've only sent Percy to pick them up, haven't they? I don't know what the Fat Controller's thinking about sometimes, I really don't. We know it's a job for Gordon, don't we? Possibly Henry at a push.